folks. This week on Dissect That Film, me and the crew are gonna review Leprechaun 3. Grab your Lucky Charms and let's go.
Flip the switches to maximum amplification as Parker, Dan, and Angela prepare for their operation. With trivia and plot points scrawled across their walls, laughter and debate erupts as the movie's drama calls. The world may call them crazy, minds gone astray, but genius and passion and madness all dance the same way. Now the show begins to rise from its broadcast realm, and you can open your eyes as we dissect that film.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dissect That Film Podcast, a podcast that dissects the good, the bad, and the ugly of cinema. I am your host, Brad Parker. Joining me, as always, are my wonderful co-hosts, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello.
Welcome back, Dan.
Hello.
And joining us once again, and it hasn't even been like a month since the last time we saw this wonderful gentleman, we have the one, the only, official Joey C back in the house. What's up, Joey?
What's happening, baby? Happy to be here. Leprechaun 3. Good Lord.
And everyone is like, Joey's back so soon? And I say yes. You can never get enough Joey C. So we will get him on here as many times as we possibly can before somebody gets really...
My ex-girlfriends would disagree. Well, fuck them.
Oh, man. But last year, Joey joined us for Leprechaun 2. And so I'd made the decision that Joey is going to be a part of every Leprechaun episode going forward. We do have someone who said they want to join for Leprechaun 4, Lost in Space, which will be next year's episode. So Joey will be here, but we'll also have another guest as well. But this year, Joey's back. We're talking more Leprechaun. We're talking more Warwick Davis, running around like a little Leppy bastard that he is. And this time, he's in Las Vegas. Whoa.
Wacky.
So, Joey, have you ever seen this movie before?
Boy, have I.
All right.
This was the first one I saw. I had it on tape. And as a kid, first of all, I had no business watching this movie. And I didn't realize there was 9 movies in the franchise, 8 or 9 or 7, however many there are.
There's 7.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
This collection has 7.
I have that same one. That's where I watched.
So I think there's 8 because there's 1 missing.
Yeah, why the fuck didn't
which is the latest one?
I don't know.
I forgot I bought it.
So this was the first one I ever saw, and then after I saw that, 14-year-old me, I had to dive into all of them. So this one kind of holds a special place in my heart as being the first one to introduce me to comedy horror movies like this that the 80s and 90s did a bunch. I fucking love this movie, man.
What about you guys?
Oh, what?
Have you guys seen this movie before?
No. Sorry, it's first time watching it.
Oh.
I haven't seen any Leprechaun movies. All of these.
Oh,
wow,
boy, this is fun.
Yep.
This is fun. For me, this is not my first time. As a kid, I used to go through all of the franchises, the big horror franchises. Leprechaun wasn't as big as Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street and Child's Play, stuff like that. But as a huge Child's Play fan, I was like, another little thing running around killing people, I'm sold. And Warwick Davis alone makes these movies worth watching. You're not going in for screenplays. You're going in for the effects, and you're going in for Warwick Davis. That's about it.
Yep.
And we will get into it in this one because that is about all you get with Leprechaun 3. Some awesome effects and Warwick Davis. So yeah, this movie was directed by Brian Trenchard Smith, who also directed Night of the Demons 2. And then he would go on to direct the 4th installment of the Leprechaun franchise, which would be the one where he ventures into space, because you can't have a horror franchise without your main character going into space.
Nope.
When's Freddy going to space?
That should have happened.
It should have. He got so many movies.
Michael Myers hasn't gone yet either. They'll figure it out.
They're like, well, he's got to be grounded. He's got to be more grounded.
Just have it happen in the future.
We all saw how Halloween Ends happened.
Well, they take whatever.
Yeah, because
that chopped them up, they shoot it into space. It goes to space on a colony, like in the far future. It's like a museum piece, but his spirit's still in it. And he possesses a young wrestling kid and becomes evil.
That's a good point. We're gonna make that happen.
Perfect. And no, there's already gonna be there's gonna be a space colony, and they're gonna send it up as a relic for a museum, and we're gonna call it Halloween. Insert number here. Evil flies tonight.
Evil flies tonight. God. You can make so many memes out of just that one shot from Halloween Kills. God damn it. This movie was written by David Dubose. It stars the legendary Warwick Davis, who just won a Lifetime Achievement Award from the BAFTAs, which is the British Academy Awards. He just won it a couple weeks ago. And I don't believe the actor who played Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies, Tom Felton.
Yeah.
He introduced him to come on stage for his award. Doesn't make mention of the Leprechaun movies, and I'm very disappointed.
Shame.
That's shit.
Literally Star Wars, Willow, blah, blah, blah. No, fucking just leaves out Leprechaun, which Warwick Davis himself said it's like the most fun he's ever had acting was being the Leprechaun. So what the fuck? Show some respect for the little Leppy bastard.
I know. God.
Oh, man. But yeah, he comes back as Lubden the Leprechaun because... To be honest, never, as I've stated before in other episodes, never knew this dude had a name.
That's the name?
His name is Lubden.
I'm sure you told me that last year. But
yeah, so the first time I ever heard his name was listening to our good buddies over at Movie Dumpster. They've covered a few of these movies. Actually, I think their last one they covered was Leprechaun 3. And they always talk about Lubden. And I'm always like sitting there like listening. And I'm like, who the fuck is Lubden? And then you find out it's the Leprechaun's name. All right. And Wikipedia's got it as Lubden, so I guess that's who he is.
Yeah, I guess that's a weird name, but sure.
Yeah, there it is. John Gattens as Scott McCoy. He is an Oscar-nominated screenwriter. He wrote for the movie Flight from 2012 with Denzel Washington. He wrote for Coach Carter, Real Steel, Kong Skull Island, which we've talked about on the show, Power Rangers from 2017. And he wrote a couple movies as an actor, he worked with Eddie Murphy on a few movies, Norbit, Meet Dave, and 1,000 Words.
Stick to writing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I was trying to be nice, but yes, we will. Yeah. Mr. Gattens, you're a good screenwriter.
Yeah, keep doing your thing. Yeah, keep doing your thing, but your money is in the writing.
Yes, clearly. Lee Armstrong is Tammy Larson. This would be her last movie.
Really?
Yep. She would stop acting after this. Yep.
Well, you know,
she's not as bad as Johnny there, John Gattens. Oh boy. Carolyn Williams as Loretta. We've talked about her on the show before. We talked about her in Days of Thunder when she played what the hell's his name? Michael Rooker's wife. She was literally in the movie for like 2 minutes. You see her and then you see her in the credits. You're like, Carolyn Williams was in this movie? She's more well known for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yep.
That was a big one.
Okay.
John DeMita as Fazio. Michael Callan as Mitch. Tom Duggan as Art. Is this who I think it is? No. Never mind. I thought, I remember that the guy who played Grandpa in Texas Chainsaw Massacre's last name was Duggan. And I was just trying to see if that was the same guy. Marcella Tubert as Gumta. And just to point it out, he's not Indian.
No, he's not.
Or from that region. So he's from Argentina. Not remotely close, but just, there we are.
I guess what you do at the time, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's a product of its time.
It sure is. Sure is. This was supposed to be the final Leprechaun movie, but the popularity of the VHS sales shot up, and they're like, "Well, we got to do another one." So
was this direct to video?
This was the first one to be direct to video because of the it wasn't financially. It didn't do financially well with number 2, so they were like, well, we're going to end it here, so might as well go direct to video. Sales went up, and we got a 4th one, 5th one, 6th one, 7th one, and 8th one. He goes to the hood twice, just to remind everybody.
Back to the hood.
Yeah.
Is it the same hood or is it a different hood?
I don't know. I haven't seen those in a long time. So
we need to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure that one out.
We'll find that out at some point.
10 years from now.
So
yeah, no,
That'll be
2, I
perfectly
think.
fine.
Warwick Davis actually likes this movie. Out of all the Leprechaun movies, this is his favorite.
Really?
Yeah, this took 14 days to shoot.
What?
Yeah. Shots of Vegas where the Leprechaun is walking up and down the strip is the only actual shots of Vegas. And they were shot illegally. They didn't get any permits for it. They literally just had Warwick Davis, all up in his Leprechaun makeup and everything, just walk up and down, and pretty much all they would do is pretty much yell at the people passing by, like, just pretend like you don't see a leprechaun. Just keep walking. Nobody be concerned.
That's awesome. I think he was only like 25 when he filmed this movie, and for some reason I thought he was like way older than that.
So he was born.
He's young.
Yeah, he was born in 1970. So yeah, he was 25. Wow.
Yeah, wow. Yeah,
that's crazy. Guess. He was 23 when he first started this franchise. Crazy. I know that the makeup took about like 7 hours to apply, but it only took like 30 minutes to take off. Gabe Bartalos came back to do the effects work, which I believe he was part of the effects team for the original and number 2. So I think he's been involved with the franchise since the beginning. Not sure if he continues, but I saw his name and I went, hey, I recognize that guy. Good effects artist. And we're going to talk a lot about the awesome effects in this movie. Other than that, not a whole lot to talk about behind the scenes wise. We'll talk about things maybe as we go along, as we always do. Of course, this movie was released June 27th, 1995, 10 days after my little brother was born. That's crazy.
Whoa.
I had a budget of $1.2 million, and who knows what it made with VHS sales, but it made enough to warrant a sequel. All right. Well, are you guys ready to talk about the plot of Leprechaun 3? Leppy Goes to Vegas?
Yep.
All right. It is time to dissect that. Boom. Guess what, guys? The movie opens up in Vegas.
Wow.
Yay. Shocker. Yay. Crazy. And a one-legged, one-armed man wanders into a pawn shop and wants to get rid of a Lubden statue. That Leppy boy turned into stone, I believe, in the last one. Did he turn into stone in the last one? Is that what he happened? I can't remember.
Like a loose continuity.
Yeah, I don't remember him turning into a statue at the end or 2. I thought he just died, but all right.
I thought he was in a tree.
Yeah, that's right. He was.
Well, that's where his lair was. I do know that in the 4th one, he is stone in the beginning of the movie. So I don't know how that works out. But.
Yeah, all right. So he brings in the statue. He puts it on the counter, and it's got a medallion. And the guy who owns the pawn shop, he reaches for it. He's like, "Don't touch the medallion." And the guy's like, "All right, whatever, dude," and gives him $20. And he's just like, gets the hell out of there.
That guy reminds me of that guy from Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Oh, Tim Robbins.
Yeah, Tim Robbins. Yeah, that's who it is.
Oh, man. So as soon as the guy leaves, though, he picks up the medallion and all that. And, of course, as soon as this happens, wakes that Leppy boy up. And he, of course, the next thing he does is because he wakes up, it like the gold cauldron also like becomes available. Like he actually can touch it and all that. So he goes to reach for it, and that's when he becomes face to face with Leppy boy. And this is when he gets like his ear bit off. He gets his toe bit off. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. But you find out that
Indian comments.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Not appropriate. Something about liking Indian because it's spicy or something like that.
Yeah, he likes Indian food because it's spicy.
Yeah, not cool. This guy's not Indian, as we stated before. So
no. But in make-believe land, he is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In movie land.
I feel like every time you would like it's crazy. Like every time you watch a movie like this, and there's always a pawn shop. It's run by an Indian guy, and his name is Gumta. Like it's like the most common name in India. Is this a thing? Indian watchers or listeners, let us know. Is Gumta a common name over there?
Do you know what an extremely common last name is?
No.
Patel.
Yep.
You know, I actually almost guessed that.
And I don't. So we were trying to figure this out because we this isn't common in anything. We do a lot of cleaning of hotels, and a lot of the hotels, or a good percentage of the hotels we clean, are owned by Indian people. So we interact with a lot of them, and I've noticed every single one is Patel.
Yeah, where I went to grade school.
It might be like Smith,
a
like
lot.
with like just white people have Smith as their last name. That's probably that.
It could be, and I'm wondering how in their native land, India, like how do they have does the system work the same way as our name system works? And maybe this is just like, we'll just use this, just whatever it works kind of thing. I don't know.
I don't even want to pretend like I know. I don't.
Yeah, that's a good question though. That's a good question.
Yes.
I like that. I'll report back.
So yeah, if anybody knows, let us know. It'd be great.
So you find out that the leprechaun is afraid of the medallion, and I guess this is why it was this. What was that?
What was that?
He over here hissing.
It's like, get that thing away from me!
Oh God!
Water bottle.
Oh, so now we meet our main characters, which are some of the most forgettable characters so far. We meet Scott and Tammy. Tammy's car breaks down, and Scott's just he's like a little kid, like, oh my God, look at this. And then almost hits this woman who's standing in the middle of the road. And then she's like, oh my God, you could have hit me. Get off the street.
No shit.
Like, I mean, yes, he should be paying attention. Like, clearly he's kind of all over the place. He's very excited about being in Vegas, this 30-year-old, 18-year-old kid.
Yes.
You're telling me that this kid is a college kid, man?
Yeah.
What?
Dude, not even. Yeah.
What are we talking about? And he almost hits her, and he get out, and there's a good Volkswagen joke where he opens up the hood, but there's no engine there because Volkswagens have their engines in the back. What was the joke?
Beatles.
What was it? Yes, it's mostly, the majority being Beatles.
Hitler's car.
Oh my God, we got to bring it up again.
Yes. No, seriously though, but like that's like that and the microbus, and then like pretty much nothing for the most part.
What was the joke?
I don't know.
It said like, oh, your
Idiot.
engine's missing or something.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Someone just needs to tap that kid on and just leave the jokes to Warwick and like just cut to the next.
Please.
Exactly. He's bad.
This guy is so desperate for a woman to interact with him, to talk to him, to even just be near him, that he's like, yeah, I'll give you a ride. Yeah. And he's like, where to? And she's like, Chicago. She's like, no, I'm just kidding. And he's like, oh, well, I would have brought you there anyways. And I was like, oh no, if I'm you, just call and say you're going to be late for work, because I'm not getting in a car with this dude. Like, nope, not happening.
You don't have money for a payphone?
Oh, Lord.
It's like, call where?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we're back at the pawn shop, and Gumta goes through, he throws in a disc into his PC, and it just reads off Leprechaun lore in like MS Paint.
Like an interactive thing, like an infographic.
This movie come out
95.
95.
Dude, we had mice. Like it wasn't a thing, guys. We do know this, right?
I don't know.
And it's like a fucking zip drive, like a zip disk.
Yeah.
Put in there. It wasn't like a regular floppy. He's like, whoop.
But he just has that on
this.
He just has that on hand though. He's like, where's that drive I had of all that Leprechaun lore? Where'd it go?
It's a pawn shop. They get weird stuff.
But he acts like he watches it several times because he just like starts eating.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta
Dude,
refresh.
it goes forever.
He's like, oh, not the Leprechaun again. Gotta refresh
like
on my lore.
There's like a weird, it reminds me of when we were watching the Homestar thing the other day.
Oh.
Never mind. It just like put the thing in for MS-DOS. Like there's a little jingle and it just starts. Such shit, dude. Sorry.
Oh man. But of course, Lubden gets his gold and he goes to the back and he counts it, and of course he's 1 shilling short. And who has that shilling? Gumta. And but then before he does anything, it cuts back over to Tammy. She works at the Lucky Shamrock Casino, which is like the trashiest looking casino that they show here in Vegas.
It's got like a paper sign.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird.
There was like, can we just throw this sign that my wife made over the entrance of your actual casino? It's not, I don't really think it was a casino. It's like a freaking hotel or something. I don't know.
That's probably what it was.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Where was this place filmed? Did it say like outside of the on location? Like where was this filmed?
That's a good
LA,
question.
I'm guessing. Yeah, LA.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it was LA.
Probably an old hotel.
Yeah,
that just took
one
over.
day was in Vegas and the rest was in LA. So, yeah, she's a magician's assistant. She's really good at magic, but she's only an assistant right now. And this will be the last time you see her in normal clothes because she's going to be in next to nothing for literally the rest of the movie. So, Goomta finds the missing shilling, and as he finds it, he hears on the little info disc that he's watching that for every shilling that is missing, you could make a wish. And I don't remember, what does he wish for? Does he wish for something?
I was just gonna say, I don't think he wishes.
I don't think he.
anything.
Yeah, I think he gets attacked before he's actually able to make his wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
think
bullshit because in the second movie, you remember there was that whole bit where Leprechaun goes into the safe and he can't touch the walls?
Yeah.
In this fucking movie, he's directly interacting with the safe by putting his bucket of shillings in the safe. It's just not realistic.
I think
The
though,
continuity
I think
is just out of
he was
control.
locked in the other one. He didn't, as long as he doesn't like touch the inner part of the safe, I'm guessing he's fine. He
Well,
wasn't
I'd
locked in
have to
there.
talk to I'd have to check with the manufacturers of the safe and see what kind of material they use. There's a whole thing that goes with it. I'm just saying.
Isn't
We'll
aren't they like,
discuss it later.
yeah, aren't they like weak to iron? Is that the thing? Was that the
Yeah, something like that.
okay?
I'd have to
Like
watch the infographic again.
So
Yeah.
we get to the casino and she's got to get ready for work. And he's like, hey, do you think you could sneak me into the casino? And she's like, are you 21? He's like, no. She's like, I could lose my job. And I'm like, this guy looks 30. Like, no one's going to question him. Even though somebody does question him later.
He was born in 1968, so he was definitely
Yeah, he was
older than 21.
27.
He was older than Warwick Davis. Oh my God.
So yeah, he just wants to experience a casino. So she's like, fine, whatever. Then you meet the great Fazio, the worst magician ever. And he is just the worst. There's Loretta who works for the hotel or works for the casino. And he's giving her grief. He's pretty much calling her fat and ugly and stuff like that. And she's like, fuck you. I'm going to get work done and I'm going to be pretty again. And I was like, man, those fake boobs, Carolyn Williams, they did you dirty in this one because those are horrible. Those things were like down to her waist. Like, I know that's not what you look like.
No, it's funny when when she's looking in the mirror later and she touches on him. I'm like, yeah, that's not real because she touches a real boobs. Like they're a little lower,
That's
man.
so funny. The makeup. It's like, how can we make this woman, this very attractive woman, look really bad? And it's like, just give her the saggiest boobs ever and give her like a freaking Golden Girls wig. Like, it's all set. So the boss comes in. It's his Mitch, right? And he's like, hey, just do your job and just entertain people, whatever. And then he starts hitting on Tammy, who's now in her like magician's assistant, outfit.
Bunny girl.
Yeah, pretty much without the bunny ears.
Yep.
And then he asks her out on a date and it doesn't go well.
Naturally.
Actually, I think Scott asks her out on a date. He's like, hey, after this, do you think we could go out sometime, go get something? And she's like, hey, I'll think about it. And then she tells him not to gamble. And then he pretty much does the opposite.
Yeah, 100%. Fucking idiot, dude.
So we're back at the pawn shop again, and Goomta and the Leprechaun are going at each other. They're freaking using, the Leprechaun's using magic on him, shoots him with an arrow through the hand. And then he shoves the medallion in his mouth. It causes like green goo to come out of his mouth. It's a showdown. I just hate how many times we have to cut back and forth between the pawn shop and the casino. I just really wish we just focus on the pawn shop stuff, get that over with, and then jump over to casino instead of constantly just being like back and forth. Like nothing is really happening at the casino yet, where it's just give me the showdown with Goomta and Lubden. That's all I want.
Point.
So Scott's in there. He is like wide-eyed. He is like, oh my God, a casino. And he's seeing people gamble. And he's like, tuition check for $23,000.
What school is he going to back then?
my
Holy
God.
shit.
Literally cashes the entire thing. He literally walks up to Mitch. He's like, hey, where can I cash this? He's like, are you old enough to be in here? And then he sees the check and he's like, with that money, you're old enough. And I was like, he looks 30, bro. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop pretending. So he goes over, he cashes the whole thing, gets the chips, and you find out that Mitch has a debt to pay to a guy named Art, and then his crony. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't even know if this guy had a name.
I love these guys.
They're the best. They don't do anything.
They fucking
don't,
rock.
They're just standing around most of the time, but their conversations with each other are just so like random. They're fantastic.
So good.
This
the
is
one
like,
later.
These are just like actual conversations you'd have with your friends, just like random things you would just bring up. And my wife caught this because I was in the middle of typing up a note, and she's like, "Did you see how Art said hello to Mitch? He like ball tapped him."
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's like, "Hey, Mitch."
I did notice that.
Yeah.
No,
I
didn't.
She's like, "Did you see that?" I was like, "No." And she's like, "He just nut tapped him. Say hello."
That's how we used to shake hands.
Hey, how are you? Good to see ya.
The tighter they squeeze, the more they like you.
Go wash
So-
up after that.
Yeah. So Scott starts gambling. Not good.
Let's go gambling.
So we're back at the pawn shop again, and Gupta makes a deal with the Leprechaun, and he gives him a medallion, and he gets half his gold, and of course the Leprechaun doesn't hold his end of the deal, and uses his magic to fish the medallion away, and then beats the living shit out of Gupta. Scott walks in kind of at the end of the beatdown, right? No.
Yeah.
No.
Like it's right after he
Wait, but this is before we got to talk about the fact that Scott is at the roulette table and he is losing badly.
Bad.
He literally is on his like last couple $100 and he is flipping out. And I'm like, bro, you're an idiot. For one, you're an idiot. Like, I understand. You find out that Loretta, who is running this table, is manipulating the table to make sure that people lose because Mitch owes people money, so he can't be losing money. Casinos are weird. But yeah, she has like a magnet under the table that is preventing people from winning, and Scott is losing his flipping mind, man. He is just losing it. She's casually like, "It's okay, honey. You're gonna get something soon, and something's gonna go your way." And he's just like, "What are you talking about? I just lost $23,000." I'm sitting there, and I'm literally sitting there going, I don't feel bad for this dude. I don't feel bad for him at all. He's an idiot.
Yep.
Dug that hole, bro.
Oh, Lord. So she's like, what would be good? If you want to keep going, your watch looks pretty expensive, so why don't you go over and pawn it off over at the pawn shop next door? Tell him Loretta sent you. And he's like, "Oh, my grandfather gave me this watch," and all that. So he's like, "Fine, I'll do that." So he goes over there, and this is like literally Leprechaun is beating the shit out of Gupta, and he right after he dies, Scott walks in, discovers Gupta's body, but also discovers the coin. And right as Lubden is about to attack, he makes a wish because he somehow knows as soon as he gets this fucking coin that he just has to make a wish. And he goes, "I wish I was back at the table winning," and he disappears as Lubden's about to attack him. And this is when Scott is just winning, and you're confused at what is actually happening because literally he's putting the coin on top of his chips, and the coin is guiding the chips to the winning number, and he constantly keeps winning. And Mitch comes over, he's like, "I'm not liking this. I owe money to people and I'm losing money." And I'm like, "You run a casino, you dumb shit." That's how this
Surely
works.
the other people you're bending over right now, you're still netting profit.
Yeah, exactly. He's not the only person in the fucking casino making moves.
He won
The whole thing was filled.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is like, how much money did he win? He won over $100,000, I think it was. And it's like, how much money is your casino pulling in where you're concerned about $100,000? Like, these casinos should be racking in ridiculous amount of money. And you're like, $100,000? Holy shit. Somebody, like, we got to kill this kid. Like, this is bad.
What if when he goes to turn his chips in, they just give him a candy bar? It's 100 grand candy bar. Like, here you go, dude. This is what you work for today.
Oh. So, yeah, this is when we get first of many moments of Leppy walking up and down the Vegas Strip. Just wandering
Big
up.
dick swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And Scott continues to be stupid. He just, because he's winning, he's getting that high and he won't leave, but yet to the point where Mitch has to shut the table down and tell him, like, go cash in your chips. You get a hotel room on me, and you just got to go because he's got something he's going to be planning. This is when we get Leppy meeting Elvis, the Elvis impersonator, at the limo, which I think is great. He's like, and I don't know, people have used this, the GIF on whatever social media where of him doing like the
Yeah.
So Leppy runs into Fazio, who's doing like a little demonstration out in the lobby, I guess. I thought he was supposed to be doing a show, but I guess not. He's doing this thing. And
he's got to warm up,
Yeah, and he's, of course he's trying to do magic, but he's also trying to flirt with this girl. And then Leppy shows up and he's just like, says some limerick and puts shit in his hand.
Yep.
Like
Green
literal
shit.
green shit.
Even though it looks like Play-Doh.
It does, 100%.
Yeah.
I love when he walks over to Loretta later and she's like, oh, what's that smell? Is that me? Is that... He's like, no, it's me. There was shit in my hand. And Loretta's spying on Scott because Scott's going to go up to the hotel and he's got his money. And of course he's being, God, what a weirdo. Like, who smells their money? Like, they like take out a wad. He's like, like, Jesus, man, relax. He does it like
to
three
be
times.
fair, if I had $100,000 in my hand, I'd probably do the same fucking thing.
I wouldn't. I'd be so terrified. I'd literally be like this. I'd be like, no one sees me with it, right? I'd be so paranoid. That's so much money to have on you.
It is a shit ton
I'm
of money.
so scared. And so she's spying on him, and he goes up to his room, and she tells Fazio, like, hey, why don't we steal the money? And we'll steal the money, and we'll steal that gold coin, because that's a magic coin, because she saw all the crazy things it was doing at her table. He's like, all right, whatever. So we then have Leppy gambling at the craps table, and then he has an interaction with Art and his crony, and to the point where they're gonna like try to like take him out, and he makes he's like, I'm gonna make your buddy a slot machine, and he just starts spitting up coins, and he's just like, okay, I'm gonna go now, see you later. Oh, God, we're back with Scott, and to be honest, Scott's the worst character in this movie. All right, he sucks.
He is.
He's just the worst.
Glad you said it. I agree.
So he's just continuing to smell the money. Stop smelling the fucking money, man. Like, you're in your room by yourself. Like, I'm surprised you didn't wrap one around his wang and just start
Crank one out.
Jeez, man. And then Fazio comes in, and he is just not subtle at all. He's not quiet. He just goes in there and starts opening and closing drawers and all this. And Scott's like, huh? He's like a character from Metal Gear where it's got like the little exclamation point, like, and just wanders out. He's like, hey, get back here. And then freaking Fazio like smokes him in the stomach and then runs out of there. And he's like, to the point where when he gets up, though, he thinks he's going to like go after him. Nope. Leppy shows up. He's like, you got what I need. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know why he doesn't immediately be like, dude, the magician just stole it. Go take it up with him.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't take the coin, does he? Does he take the coin? He took the coin. That was the only thing he took.
Yeah, I couldn't find the money.
Yeah. So they fight, though. Leppy and Scott fight, and Leppy gets a bite on him, and then he stabs him in the head with a knife from the food service, and then it just tosses him out the window.
It's so
so good, dude. That freaking little dummy. I do love when he rips the knife out of his head, though. The knife stays in his head, only the handle pops off.
Yeah, that's
so you
right.
can still see the blade in there. Fantastic. And his line, of course, is, next time I'll take the elevator. So this is when we get the really weird part of this movie where they're like, what if Leppy was like a zombie, where if you bit a person, they would turn into a leprechaun.
It's an infectious disease.
Sold. We got this. So Scott starts turning into a leprechaun. But it's mostly in his head at first, but then it starts, people actually are seeing like the effects. He starts he starts speaking with the Irish accent, which was that him or was it dubbed? I feel like it was dubbed. This is too good. Unless this dude, because I don't think this dude is Irish, but that accent was pretty good. And I don't know, man. This guy's not, I feel like this guy's not a good enough actor. You didn't think the accent was good?
Yeah, not a chance. I was like, this is fucking terrible. My God. Everything about him fucking sucks.
He loves potatoes, okay? He loves potatoes.
Yeah, he does.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
I hope he doesn't see this episode of us just like shitting on him.
Show up at our door.
Hey, I haven't said anything negative about him. That's all y'all.
I don't know if he likes Lucky Charms.
I'm not taking it back.
Double down, baby.
That's why he turned into a writer, because he knew acting wasn't the way to go. So Loretta gets the coin, and then she tries to use it in the same way that Scott was using, but it's not working. So she's like, what is actually going on? Yeah, because she just thinks like, oh, it's magic. It was telling him what numbers to do, but she doesn't know about the wish part of the whole thing, because that was his wish, was to be at the table and win. So Mitch steals the coin from Loretta while she's at her table and uses it to wish for Tammy, because he has a thing for Tammy. For one, Mitch is an older guy. Like, this is like grandfather age. And the whole argument between him and Loretta is like, you can't get somebody like Tammy. She'll never go for you. And so he goes, well, I wish to have Tammy. And then Tammy turns into the most obnoxious thing ever. Like, what is this voice that she puts on?
I wanted to fucking rip my ears off.
Like, oh, Mitch. And I'm like, what is happening?
It's like she has heard of pornography, and she's like, I'm going to try my best to do that.
To
acting.
emanate that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Oh my God.
She watched the wrong one.
It's awful. This is so, like, everything she says, I'm just like, oh, it literally hurts my brain. It's just awful. And so this is when this happens. So this is when Loretta figures out, oh, you got to make a wish when you have the coin, because she is completely shocked. She's like, what is happening right now?
Mandatory drug tests.
She's like,
for all employees.
Whoa, what happened? And then she's like, oh, Mitchie. And I was like, oh no. So the funniest thing though is that she wants Mitch, but she also likes dealing out pain. So like in the elevator, she's just slapping the shit out of him, and he is not into it. It's fantastic. And this is when we have possibly one of the best conversations between two characters, and that is between Art and his goon, where they're just having a conversation about wearing suspenders, if it's too, it's not manly enough. Joey knows that, right?
It's true. It's true. It's very
he
true.
talks about his socks. He's like, "Does my tie look good?" Like, they're just having like this very mundane conversation.
Yeah, I talked about underwear first. Was the start.
Yes, boxers and briefs. He's like,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I don't like it just like, flapping in the wind there. And I was like, touche.
Gotta have some support, people. Come on.
So
just don't wear any at all.
Huh?
No,
that's the problem. You have to have support. You're just free balling.
We don't want to be the truck. We don't want to be the truck driver from My Bloody Valentine who after sex just puts on his jeans.
Don't mind me.
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna have a very raw dick after I take my pants off.
Rug burn, dude.
God damn. So they're up in the hotel room, Mitch and Tammy, and it gets close. Like we get close. I thought we were gonna see something, because I hadn't seen this movie in a long time. And right before she's about to take her top off completely, this when Loretta steals the coin, and as soon as someone else has possession of it, the wish goes away for the person prior. So that means like she snaps out of this little trance. She thinks like Mitch is going to assault her, which he pretty much is.
Yep.
And she leaves, and she gets fired at the same time because she knees freaking Mitch in the balls. Good for her. And and she's very upset.
I think she was going to do that either way, even if she was still under the trance.
Yeah. She's going to knee him there, then go for a ride. Yeah.
It got kinky.
Yeah.
Well,
it gets kinkier as we go along here. So we're at like a little restaurant at the casino, and Scott is having every type of potato you can possibly have. French fries, mashed potatoes, hash browns. Yeah, all of it. All of it.
And 6 potato pancakes.
Ugh.
It was like,
It's disgusting.
that was like, so,
Ew.
Ew. It was right.
Fucking potato
I
pancakes.
love
so
potatoes, but
There's
they
a
had
limit,
to be
though.
very specific on the
Yes.
6 potato pancakes.
Yes.
I just really want hash browns right now.
I know.
Same.
Really
So
badly.
good.
Let's go to some nasty ass Waffle House. You can watch a knife fight. Have some hash browns. and fucking
You can drink and go there, and they'll be drunk too.
Oh, dude, we've been there before, and just the staff, you could clearly tell is blitzed as fuck on something. Like, just please give me my food and it be sanitary enough for me to eat.
When we went there after the movie theater, that one night we were there at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Mhm.
They were all taking turns walking outside, drinking from a tall boy that they had set on the sidewalk.
Coming back in. Yep, 100%.
And we knew our waitress she had a lot to drink because she could not remember what we ordered.
Oh, yeah.
Right after we ordered it, she would ask us again what we ordered. And it's like, okay, we're probably not getting what we ordered.
Listen, important note, nobody got sick, and I
No.
still got my hash browns. Just so you know.
That's pretty good. Now I'm hungry.
Sorry,
Actually,
Joey. I know I am
fucking
too.
cheese balls here. I can eat one. You guys said I could eat one on stream, so here we go. You ready for this?
Well, normally people have 2, so I just put 2 balls in your mouth.
See?
Oh, fuck. I'll
yeah.
put 2.
There you go. Fuck yes. Thank you.
Now the review can continue.
Well, Scott loves to rhyme too. He's got all of his little limericks or whatever the hell you want to consider these. And yeah, and he's very confused on what the hell is happening to him. Mitch has a dream that leads from a woman stripping down on the TV to then going through the TV, and Mitch is like thinking all this is normal. And then it turns into a robot and then electrocutes the shit out of him.
So
Classic.
in 20 years, this will be a real problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
When sex dolls are like
I
prolific.
think like next week it'll be a
could be-
problem. What do you
it could be-
mean?
could
20
be-
years.
Because people
Before
aren't
the
gonna,
end of the year.
people aren't gonna take care of those. They're not gonna replace the rubber when the tires get worn down. So like there's gonna be electrical issues, dude. I'm telling you.
They won't sanitize when they need to.
Oh, God, no.
God. Imagine getting
Ew.
a disease from yourself.
Oh, God.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, you didn't clean out all the dick cheese, man. You get some- you name your sex doll Smegmantha. Like, oh no.
Ew! Ew!
Patent pending. That was my fucking name I came up with a long ass time ago.
I don't think
take this
anyone
shit
is stealing that from you, Dan.
Listen, if I go online, anybody else's name's Smegmantha, legal action.
Yeah,
My lawyer will be in contact with your lawyer.
It'd be an awkward legal call.
Oh my
yes,
God.
it would.
The best part of this whole thing, though, is the infomercials that are playing during the whole thing,
Yes.
where he
Oh,
keeps
I
saying
love
his
it.
name, and
So
Mitch
good.
goes, "Is he saying my name? Did I hear my name?" And he's just, and Warwick Davis is putting on these great accents. He's like going along with it. It's great. He's like a judge. He's just like, "We can help you."
The TV psychic or whatever.
Oh,
I need the raw
yeah.
footage from that.
It's so good.
That shit is, I wonder if
Oh.
that's on the DVD that I have.
Oh, I didn't even
I
look.
wonder. Wait, hang on. What are the special features?
I
Do
don't
they have
remember. I
ones?
didn't have time to watch them.
Yeah.
So
I forgot
it
I
tell
owned it.
you?
We didn't even watch the damn
It
thing.
just says there's 5 new featurettes, so I don't know what 5 movies.
So I wonder if they're just like general ones. Because if they had like special features for each individual movie, I would watch the fuck out of those.
Yeah, there's audio commentaries too. I don't.
Oh shit! I'd
when I
love to listen.
Yeah,
to that.
sometimes I don't get the chance to get into the special features and stuff. So yeah, Tammy and Scott, they run into the Lep, and this is what.
Dude, you every time you like Leppy boy Lep, and I know that's what people call him. I just think of like the dude's got leprosy. Like every fucking time.
That's the joke, Dan. I'm gonna keep changing his name.
No, please. No, I like the name change, but that's just where my mind goes.
No, they run into him after Mitch gets electrocuted, and they're just like, "Oh no, what happened here?" And then Art and his cronies show up a little bit later, and they find the leprechaun there, and then they get their ass beat. He pokes the goon's eye out, which is really good. It's good effect.
Yep.
And
Tony
then
would hate that.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And then he beats Art down. And did you get the joke that he says? He says, "What was Judy Garland really like?"
Oh yeah. Yep. Because the Munchkin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. It went over my head a little bit there. I was like, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Scott's changing. He's starting to grow the hair and he's getting the mutton chops. The skin's starting to.
Good.
No, what were you saying?
I would say puberty's a bitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, for this 35-year-old man. So
He's 18.
okay. And I'm 15.
Hey, nowadays you can claim to be whatever you want. So
It's true.
Age-wise? Is that how that was working?
hey, there's people out there that still claim that they're what for. There was one guy, I can't remember if it was a man or a woman, said that he was like 4 years old.
No.
Or they were 4 years old.
You're a grown-ass
I'm
man. Stop it.
No, you're not.
I have a dude that goes to our weekly Magic the Gathering drafts. He's a fucking sweet. He's a cool dude. He's awesome. But he's never gonna fucking listen to this. Always says he's 29. That motherfucker is not 29. I refuse to believe that.
I mean,
motherfucker's 29.
that's a joke that like my wife has, where like every time her birthday is, she's 29 plus whatever she is now. So
or 29 and holding.
see, Joey's the only one who can say he's 29. And it's actually
29.
his age. Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
I
can't even believe I'm that old, to be honest with you.
I know so many
Shut
people. I know
up.
so many people that were born in 95. Jesus.
Looks.
I'll be 40 this year, so shush.
Go that high? I didn't know we fucking went that high, man.
Joey was planning to being dead when he was 32.
Oh man. So
his mind over there.
Mm-hmm.
Loretta makes her wish, and her wish is to become hot. And then we see Carolyn Williams in her true body as she comes out looking hot. The only thing I'm not a fan of the haircut.
The hair. I was just gonna say that.
Not a fan of that. Yeah, not a fan of that. I mean, I'm a fan of short hair, but that was just like,
Really sit well with the time, though.
You know what?
That
I'm just gonna say it. Wood. And in all forms, except her inflated form. I'm not into that. But every other form, her Golden Girls form and her hot form, wood. Absolutely. She's a smoke show. Holy fuck.
No shame. No shame.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Just
Have
make
I
sure you
mentioned
put
I'm single?
Just make sure you put.
We'll get you a good one.
Yeah, you'll get there, Joey. Dude,
When I
this
grow
man is
up.
a fucking treasure. This man is a fucking treasure. You just don't know. Ladies don't know, dude. No, I know what. I figured it out. He says ex-girlfriends because once they get to like the sack, they're like, dude, I can't constantly pay to have my hip relocated or put back in, so I can't deal with this anymore. He's a fucking animal.
There goes our monetization for this channel.
Dude, it's been gone years
Please
ago.
sponsor us.
Cheese balls.
This episode is sponsored by Trojan. It's really not.
It's not. I have 3 kids.
Yeah,
So
yeah, me too.
they would not.
Yeah, so Fazio finds her and she's all like, look at me, I'm hot now. And he's like, I'm gonna take that, and just steals the shilling and just books it out of there. Here's my thing. When Loretta steals the shilling from Mitch, the magic goes away on Tammy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as we're gonna see, Loretta doesn't immediately get affected by the fact that the shilling is gone.
Yes.
Like she should have. Like she should have either resorted back to her original form, or the thing that happens to her in a little bit should have happened automatically, not with the leprechaun there.
No, I agree. I thought the same thing. I was like,
Hang on, that's a good point.
Yeah,
True, but he also says that she has to pay for what she did.
that's true. Yeah,
Maybe he was just behind.
So maybe he is controlling.
Well, you think maybe because her wish was more of a permanent modification as opposed to like being lucky and a date rape drug. Like, it was slightly.
I mean, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know either.
Because there's really no repercussions for Scott either. Like, I guess he gets bit by the leprechaun, but I don't think that had anything to do with the fact that he didn't have the shilling anymore. I think it was just the fact that the leprechaun thought he had it still and then attacks him.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's because I wonder if it was different shillings, if it wouldn't, then the wish would maintain, because it was all the same one.
Yeah, because I think it's only one. Yeah, I think it's only one the whole movie until he gets his gold back, because all the rest of it is locked up in that safe.
We are dissecting this film.
We sure are, in the worst ways possible, but we're doing it. We're doing it. So this is when we get one of the best effects in the entire movie, and that is when Leppy confronts Loretta and tells her she has to pay for what she's done. And he's like, they like bigger boobs, they like bigger butts, and then everything starts blowing up. And then I love her trying to walk out of the room, and she gets stuck in the doorway to the point where she just explodes.
But listen,
does he pull out an umbrella?
He does.
It's so good.
She is complaining about having bigger boobs. Like, stop complaining, ma'am. Some of us want that.
So she didn't really they weren't that large, like, originally. And then, like, he says to make them bigger, and I figured she was being like, oh, sweet, all right. But instead, of course, he makes them. I mean, the funny thing is like, when he makes everything larger, it's not appealing at all. Like, it's like grotesque.
Such her lips.
Yeah, her lips. Yeah, she starts looking like Howard the Duck. It's a whole horrifying sight. And then she blows up.
When her ass exploded, she just exploded into cottage cheese.
Oh, that would have been great.
It's a cool effect, though. It was cool.
It's
how
great.
They did it.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. So Scott and Tammy, they go back to the pawn shop. They watch the lore video. We haven't seen it already multiple times. And this is when you find out that Scott is affected by the medallion. He can't have it anywhere near him. Which, to be honest, I wish they would just put it on him and he just disappeared from the movie. But unfortunately, he has to be the hero of the story. Scott, because he's a leprechaun, can use magic, and he unlocks the gold from the safe. And you're like, oh boy, here we go. And he's got to say all the leprechaun lines and all that stuff and try to be funny. So he tries to use the gold against the leprechaun, but there's a rule that the gold can't be used against him because it's his. So Scott is going through a lot of pain and gets sent to the hospital. I love when we're in the hospital, Scott gets sent away, and of course Tammy's like, oh, what's happening to him? Can I see him? Blah, blah, blah. There's a slot machine in the middle of this waiting room. Did you see that?
Oh, that's what I said.
I mean, this is Vegas, so I guess that makes sense, but it's like, all right, we're just not subtle at all. We're like, we're in Vegas, slot machines everywhere. It's like, you want to have a nice meal at a nice restaurant? Oh, well, guess what? Slot machines at every booth.
It's for people who don't have health insurance. Like, put money
That's
in.
true.
If you win.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, no. I mean, I feel like that's what eventually is going to happen in this country, but I digress.
Oh, no, that's where I was like 100%. Like, the procedure I just had. Like, you can't afford it. Like, fuck. Out of pocket. My insurance is like, nope. Like, okay, thank you.
What's the point of having you then?
Yeah. Seriously.
That's what I want to know.
The doctor even said that was a bad insurance when we told him what you
100%.
had.
I was like, well, I guess like I've canceled that insurance. Once all my shit's done, I'm canceling my insurance.
I'll get you a slot machine.
I might have better luck.
Oh man, I love when the leprechaun comes through and he's dressed up as a nurse. He's got the thing over his hat. He's got the pink outfit on. It's so good.
And nobody notices him walking.
No one ever notices him. He is just, everyone is oblivious to this leprechaun walking around. The best though is when Scott's strapped to the table and the doctor and the nurse are trying to like figure out what the hell's going on, and he sticks his tongue out and it's got the leprechaun tongue, but you can see his actual tongue underneath.
Yep.
And then the next shot when it does it, you actually it's like they fixed it because you can't tell that his tongue is there. But like, oops, somebody forgot to check that. He's
attached very well.
He's got green blood, everybody. So that means he's a real leprechaun now.
Ooh.
And
all this. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say they find his money in his pocket, and they're like, we're gonna fuck him bad. And I was like, I don't think you get the money for these procedures. Like, you're getting paid a salary as a doctor. Like, you're not getting what this dude's got. So what is this whole? Oh, we probably should get him. We should get him 3 MRIs. We should get him four CAT scans. Make sure we do this other. I'm like, none of this is going to matter to either of you.
Yeah, because they asked him. They said, "This is what, life or death? Do you have medical insurance?" Like,
Yep.
It just makes me think of a movie from the late 90s. All this talk about medical insurance. Have you ever seen the movie Booty Call with Jamie Foxx?
Oh yes.
Nope.
Once.
Yeah, I don't remember. I've watched it several times. It's pretty fucking funny. It's not a good movie, but anyway, I just remember when that one dude goes, not Jamie Foxx, but his accomplice goes to the hospital, and they change the charts around, and he's gonna get like, I think he's gonna a vasectomy, I think. And like right before he does it, like one of them yells in there, he doesn't have insurance. Like, get this man out of here! Like, I just remember this. Right,
It's so accurate.
It's so accurate.
So they do a bunch of tests. I love they got the EKG that reads "fuck you," and then they have the other test that just has a bunch of little leprechauns on it.
It's so good.
I'm like, this seems weird.
You don't say.
So the leprechaun gets to Tammy, and because she is called down to the morgue. And as soon as I'm getting called down to the morgue, I'm like, what? Why? Why am I getting called down to? I'm not going down to the morgue. Like, wouldn't a nurse come out and say, like, oh, he didn't make it? Like, why would they just send me to the morgue? But
yeah,
she goes,
literally.
She goes anyways. You go down there, and you get a pretty gruesome, like, scene here. Like, all the other kills that are happening in this movie are pretty comedic. This one is, like, fucked up. Like, you just walked in, and it was the dude who worked at the morgue. Just has... I'm knocking off my freaking pop filter as I'm demonstrating this. Just scalpels and shit all embedded in him. I'm like, all right, what movie am I watching now? Is this Saw? Like, what's happening?
It's serious now.
So Scott escapes and says a few more quirky lines, and I didn't write any of them down because his lines were lame, so I didn't need to
just
write
watch
them
the
down.
movie.
Yeah, just watch the movie. I don't need to repeat every single thing. Scott goes down there. He saves Tammy. I don't remember what happens other than the fact that I think Leppy rides away on top of a gurney. I think that was it.
Yep.
Because he's flipping him off as he's riding off.
Yeah.
Oh. So we're at the Fazio magic show. This is after he takes the coin and wishes for to be the greatest magician in the world. This is when we get possibly the goriest part of the movie and probably one of the goriest parts of this franchise. I don't recall any other part of this franchise so far that has been this pretty gruesome, which is he saws him in half with a chainsaw and then opens it up and you just see all of his guts falling out. And I was like, holy shit. And I just love the reaction of all the people in the crowd. They're just like, what the fuck? And then he opens the thing and everyone just starts screaming and running and like people are just flying over tables and it's chaos.
I would react the same way, to be honest with you.
I just love the whole thing where he's just like.
Yep.
He's just eating every scene. I love it. So so Scott and Tammy show up. Scott's still in extreme pain. And the leprechaun's just like, listen, I'll give you some gold if you stop all of this. All right? Like, you're a leprechaun now. We're brothers. So I'll give you gold. We'll be good. And we can move on. And he's like, no, not going to do that. So what does he do? He burns gold? I don't think that's how this works.
No.
Like, what? Like, he burns it to the point where it just kind of like disappears. It doesn't melt or anything. It's just like, it just, bye. Just evaporates into the ethos. Like, what are we doing here?
Bye. Have a good time.
And with this, sets the leprechaun on fire and he flies across the room and he dies. He burns to a crisp. His bones exposed, and that's it. That's the end of the leprechaun.
Yeah.
He is dead. Scott turns back to normal, and instead of keeping the coin and making another wish, he just tosses the coin. Well, she tosses the coin away.
Yeah, she does.
And she's like, I think I have everything that I want. And I went,
shut the fuck up.
I was like, really? Like, you've known this guy for 2 days. He's a fucking loser.
He's a
He is a
weirdo
loser.
too. What do you mean?
They just haven't gone to dinner yet.
I don't
Yeah,
get this.
it's over
Like,
after the dinner.
but yeah, that's it. Happily ever after. The end. The end of Leprechaun 3. Did we do
Wow.
it justice? I don't know.
Let us know in the comments below.
Oh my god.
Good
Yeah,
God.
seriously. So before we get to our final thoughts, I want to ask you guys a question.
Please.
Since in this movie you have the whole thing with the coin, and you get to make one wish. What would your one wish be if you had this opportunity? Joey.
I think my wish, besides a bigger container of cheese balls, that is correct. I think my wish would be 100K on YouTube. I just want the plaque. I'd hang it right below the Black Ops 6 poster right there, and then I'd delete the channel. Call it a day. I just want the plaque from YouTube in the little letter that they send you. That's all I want. And then on top of that, free McDonald's, I'd say. For
Forever?
life.
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 All right.
Yes. I'd never have to worry. I'd eat McDonald's day and night. It's like I had Pizza Hut for breakfast yesterday. I ate it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and breakfast today. It's the only thing I ate during that whole time period.
It was all breadsticks.
It was all breadsticks.
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah.
True
it's good.
facts.
Yeah.
All right.
So I would do YouTube plaque or free McDonald's.
All right. Angela.
It's difficult.
You had the whole episode.
Tell me about
Tell
it.
me what more Lucky Charms.
No, I'd probably want to be able to eat whatever I want and not gain weight.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
That is
It's a really good one.
Because I'd be eating Taco Bell all day, every day.
I'd be
Taco-
eating
Taco
everything.
John's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam.
I put things in my mouth that I'm not supposed to. Fuck,
I do that
now.
every day.
It's like, yes.
So a lot of things come out of your mouth that's not supposed to either, but you know.
It's America, baby. People don't like it, they'll
Fucking
tell you. And they're at liberty to tell me too.
All right,
Oh, is
Dan.
it my turn?
What about you?
This is what I listen. Here we go. Here's my entirely unreasonable wish, right?
I'm listening.
I've been asked this before and I've had the same idea.
Okay.
I want enough money to get us out of debt. That's it.
Mine is very similar.
Lame ass. I know. It's
I
a
was
lame ass
waiting
joke,
for
but that's all I want.
A whole lot worse.
I know. That's because people would think that. But I have an entirely reasonable, like, I just want enough to get out of debt.
It's stupid.
It is stupid. Yes, it is stupid, Joey. It's fucking lowbrow. It's like the lowest fucking fruit. Like, it's just right there on the ground.
You
I
have
don't like that.
disappointed him. Gosh.
All right.
Sorry.
Give me a good one.
I'm gonna give
I'll take
you
one.
I'm gonna give you a good one. I'm gonna give you a good one. I'm gonna give you one
I thought he
that yeah.
I thought you were like doing this.
I'm gonna get you, Dan. Your lame ass answer.
Yeah, your disappointment.
Yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to, my wish would be to go back in time and hang out in Martha's Vineyard while they're making Jaws. I want to be there while they're filming Jaws.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one, man.
And then after it's all said and done, you go back to your normal time. I wouldn't stay like in 1975 and keep going. No, fuck that.
Listen, I got
the weed would be cool there, I think.
That's true. Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
I feel like I would probably be better off, staying back then.
Yeah. Dude, you
Could
can
be,
buy a
yeah.
house for a nickel and a grape. You know what I'm saying?
It's very true.
That's
Very
true. It's true. Yep. I would say if you want my unreasonable one, I would like the ability to take me and anybody else, if I wanted to, at any time, to teleport to any location I want to. Not to do anything illegal, but if you would travel, it's very time consuming. It's very expensive.
You better take me.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
You just take your group and just bloop, go to a place.
Well, hang
And
out.
I don't know
You can take old Joey C to the
Yeah, we
Bristol
can go-
International Raceway, and we can just eat a hot dog and watch the race. What are you talking
It's not
about?
far, dude. We can go.
Yeah.
Bristol's like, what,
right.
80 miles from us?
See, yeah, you can just teleport to him and then bring
We can go pick him
bring
up.
him
We can go. Like, come on, Joey.
Whoa. Yeah. Pick me up in your little wings, and we'll go flapping on
Yeah.
down there.
Because it'd be, but no, listen, no goofy. Like if I teleport, I'm not gonna turn into the fucking fly. We're not gonna go Seth Brundle. No zombie turkey, no anything like that. So if anybody gets that reference, everybody, yeah, none of that goofy loophole shit they always catch you with on wishes. This ain't no wish master.
Okay. That's acceptable. I'll take that. That's good. We got some good wishes around here.
Yeah. Hey, for all you listening, if you made it this far, leave your comment down below, like what you thought of the episode, but also tell us what your wish would be. Also, leave it on the Spotify comments, all that, whatever, wherever you're listening or watching this right now. Let us know your wish. All right.
Yep.
Now back to the original ending here. What were our thoughts on this movie after seeing it recently and talking about it right now? Joey?
You know, it's not the best Leprechaun movie, but god damn is it good. Like I said, it was my introduction. It's classic. There's nostalgia, but outside of the nostalgia, it's fucking funny. It's got great kills, and it doesn't try to be anything that it's not. And that's what I love about the Leprechaun series, this one in particular. It doesn't try to like get away with bad effects. It just kind of has the bad effects, and it just presents you with where it's at. It's like a life lesson in Zen, man. Just accept the things at where they're at along the road. It's a beautiful piece of cinema. This is fucking fantastic. I can't wait till next year. Can we teleport to next year to do the fourth one? Good Lord, this movie rocks. I literally am going to watch the fourth one tonight after we record this.
There we go.
I've already decided.
All right. Sounds great. Angela?
I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was great. I do love some of the lines that were said. It got me to laugh, especially some of the rhymes that Leprechaun did about the guy with the balls of brass.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then the one that Scott says to the waitress about penis au gratin, and she's like, Metallica.
Oh, yes.
No, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I forgot
I know
about
that one. I think I have. Oh, no, it was like White Zombie. I have that album.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just certain parts that could have been cut out. Most of what Scott says and does.
Oh,
But,
God.
yeah.
I agree. Yep.
Yep.
Completely agree with that one.
But yeah, it was pretty decent. So
All right, Dan.
I honestly, I think it's the best one of the three we've watched so far. Like the most enjoyable. I've not been high on this franchise. I mean, I like watching them because it's new and such, but like I've not been like super high on the franchise. But no, this has been enjoyable. We've already covered most of the things, and I think Scott was a little more enjoyable toward like the second half.
When he turns into
Like
the
when he started to become the Leprechaun,
Yeah.
like he seems more engaged instead of like the nerdy, like half oblivious to what the fuck's going on. But yeah, it's fine. Like I enjoyed what they did with the effects, and like this isn't like a trendsetter or anything, but it's fun. Like he said, it's tongue in cheek and it doesn't take itself too seriously. And you know, Warwick Davis and then the dude who played Art and his buddy were the best people in the whole fucking movie. And yeah, it's good times. I do have one complaint. Angela was reading through the quote, so I just happened to look over and I forgot about it. Nobody says blew a rod. Nobody says that. Okay, about cars. Nobody fucking says it. It's called throwing a rod. Okay.
Well, I think he was also. I think he clearly doesn't know anything about cars, but yeah.
Yes, he doesn't, and I get it. But it just came. I was like, nobody fucking says that. I know what they were going for, but if you by chance actually say that unironically, please let us know.
Yeah, please.
Threw a rod.
Threw it. Just fucking.
Put gas in the thing, and that's it.
Yeah. Yep.
Hope it runs.
Caramelizer.
Yep.
I put the yellow handle one in there, you know.
Oh, they're color coded.
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
you know, it's it starts with a D. I don't know. It says it's supposed to be good for the engine or something.
Oh
you
Lord.
know?
Oh Lord.
Fill it with diesel.
Who wants to tell?
And then I put premium air in the tire earlier. I had to pay for that at the shop there.
Yep.
They really
Like when they try to charge you for nitrogen. Don't do that. It's not. It's realistically just the difference is so minute. It's not better.
When I worked,
I knew that.
When I worked at Walmart, if we saw anyone with the green caps on their tires, we weren't allowed to touch them. So
yep,
because we only had we just had regular air, but
compressed air.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh no, I get it.
Yep, because we would always have to top off people's tires when we would do their oil changes and all that. So we saw the green caps and we'd have to write in our notes like nitrogen. Like, nope, you don't touch those.
Yo, actually, you know something I did learn? For those of you that are not, maybe not if any all in this group, but Parker may know, refrigerant for your AC compressor.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's different kinds, like R134 and R134Y and stuff like that. Compressed air you clean your keyboard with is a refrigerant.
Huh.
Yeah,
is that why
it's like
R150,
it gets cold?
160. Like if you use it for too long, it gets really cold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Makes
like
sense.
legitimately. I've seen like because I watch a lot of car stuff. So a guy he actually because the older ones use like R34, which is not legal anymore in cars, AC compressors. But you could use that as a makeshift version, which is better for the air because we use it in compressed air and stuff. But yeah, didn't know that.
Interesting.
Random aside.
Yeah, that's listen, I'm a man of culture. I understand these things. R80 refrigerator.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're talking about
Leprechaun.
green tipped tires and gasoline. What
Ball
the
and
fuck?
rod.
We're talking about Leprechaun 3, not motor vehicle refrigerants.
True.
What the hell is going on here? We're getting way off track. I'm fucking confused, man.
Don't make Joey turn this car around.
I'll fucking turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little podcast pretty damn quick.
No yelling on the bus.
Oh god.
I'm sweating.
Oh god.
No,
I have to
That was
pee.
good, Joey.
Oh man. This movie was hilarious. It was more Leprechaun fun. Warwick Davis is just eating up all the one-liners, and the effects are great. I love just the bombastic kills that we're getting. The woman, Loretta's death is the best of the entire movie, just her blowing up. And then some of like the more simple things, like him just biting off a toe. Like when he bites off Gunta's toe in the beginning, I'm like, that's pretty fucking gnarly. Like that's really good. It didn't look fake. It was pretty good.
Same thing with the ear one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
But yeah. John Gaddens, no offense, dude. Your acting's just not good in this. Like it's just like the fact that
Which
Lee
one was he?
Armstrong, he was Scott.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, your writing's good. We like Kong Skull Island. I like Flight. You know, I like the movies that I stated that I have seen that you wrote. Your acting just not it. And Lee Armstrong, I wish I could have seen you more in many ways.
Yep.
Unfortunately, no such luck. Yeah, this is a fun one. This may be my favorite because I think it takes itself less serious than the other two. As we progress, I feel like they just don't care as much about like, you know, continuity or whatever, and they're just going for it. And Warwick Davis as long as Warwick Davis is having a blast filming these movies, they were going to keep making them. And clearly he's having a great time. And I had a great time watching it. Is it great? No. Is it entertaining as hell? Yes. Did it make me laugh? Yes. So that's a win for me.
That's right.
All right. Now it's time to go over to social media and see what you all had to say about Leprechaun 3. We're going to start over on Twitter. First one is from SP Film Viewers, who says, a better follow-up than the second one. That one was boring. And Jesse says, I love this movie. Over on.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Hey, it's a positive comment. I'm going to read it. Over on Instagram, we got one from Big Optimus 33 who just said, I've seen all of Warwick's Leprechaun movies. I enjoy all of them immensely, but I'd have to say Leprechaun in Space is my favorite of the franchise, with part 3 a close second.
I think I agree with that.
Dewey Podmonster says, I like the robot titty lady, but it definitely is lacking in Leprechaun space exploration. And I just commented the fact that like people just love Leprechaun in Space. They really do.
It's so fucking good.
I haven't seen it in a long, long time, so I'm very much looking forward to it, but I will hold off until we cover it next season.
And apparently there's a new Leprechaun movie being planned.
Woo!
Really?
Yep.
With Warwick?
No, I don't think so.
Probably the guy that
And
they
in
had
that
for the last one.
Don't want it.
I heard the newest one was pretty good because it actually is a continuation of one. So, but it's not Warwick, but I guess the guy who played him was pretty good.
So it looks like Warwick and some other guy, a franchise creator, Mark Jones, talked about the idea of Leprechaun in the Wild West, and Warwick likes the idea.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Over on the Slasher app, yes, every time we cover a horror movie, I like to throw over on the Slasher app, which is an app all about horror movies, or just horror in general. I asked, what do you think of Leprechaun 3? And we got a couple responses over there. Colobos51 says, probably the best of the sequels. Just the right amount of silly and creative. The Horror of Horror says, fucking love it. Horrific says, it's a great movie. It's self-aware and a lot of fun. And Hospital Massacre VHS says, take a look at these, Mitch. And Ghostwalker237 says, I fucking love this one. And let's go over to our wonderful Discord and see what you all had to say over there, because I think we got a couple, maybe. Daniel Collins says, I love Warwick Davis's Leppy, Space Leprechaun, crazy fun, which, of course, will be the next one we do. And then our good pal, Spectre M91, or Mikey, says, I volunteer to talk about Leprechaun 4 next year, so that may be our other guest for Leprechaun 4. So that's it. That's all the comments on Leprechaun 3. Leppy in Vegas, Leprechaun Vegas shenanigans adventures. Next week, we're finally diving into the franchise that won our poll on all the social medias and Patreon. We were supposed to cover it a couple weeks ago. Things happened. We had to choose other movies to talk about. We had to cover Leprechaun. So we're finally jumping into the Underworld series.
Ooh.
As next week, we're going to be talking about 2003's Underworld, starring Kate Beckinsale. I got this wonderful 5 movie collection. It's got every single one. And the first one has an extended cut. So I guess I'll be watching that one when we cover the movie. So there it is. So yeah, we're finally jumping into Underworld. I'm very excited. We may have a guest for that. And yeah. It's been a lot of fun having guests on pretty much every episode. Actually, every episode this season. It's been a lot of fun. Joey's already been here twice, and we're only like 6 episodes into this season. Pretty crazy. Oh, man. Joey, speaking of you, where can people find you? Not that you haven't been here recently, but why don't you share with everybody where they can find you and your wonderful, everything that you make, I
appreciate that. If for whatever reason you want more of me, which is shocking to me still, you can go to youtube.com/officialjoeyc for a lot of goofy stuff. Recently, I've been examining things in video games like the construction sites in Grand Theft Auto 5 and the safety of living in Tony Hawk's Underground. So feel free to check that out, or don't. That's okay too. Things change. Things happen.
All right. As for us, well, all of his links will be down in the description, of course. If you didn't know, that's where I put them. So
I appreciate that.
Make sure you click on those. You subscribe to his YouTube channel, subscribe to his Twitch channel. Message him on. Send him a DM on Twitter and say, "Yo, what's up? I am a fan of you." Or even if you're not a fan of him, just you could DM him anyways.
That's true.
I don't know.
You can flex. Show me your muscles. You know what I'm saying?
He's a cool dude. So you shouldn't hate him. You shouldn't dislike him. He's a pretty cool dude. So
I appreciate that.
As for us, we're on all the social media apps. You can go to our LINKTREE which will have every link that you'll need between all the social media apps that we're on, all the podcast apps, YouTube, our merch store over on TeePublic, and all the other things, and our Patreon, which is patreon.com/dissectthatfilm, where for a single $1, you can support us and get early access to episodes, uncut versions of the episodes with all the pre-show stuff, all the flubs that we have, all the things that go on during an episode. I don't touch it. I literally upload it to Patreon and you get it all. And it's a lot of fun. Yeah. And then if you join at any of the tiers, free and up, you get access to our Discord, which has been a lot of fun. It literally started out as a little baby Discord with like 2 channels in it. Now it's grown to this pretty decent sized thing. A lot of conversation going on over there, a lot of love. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of it. So if you want to join that, just go over to Patreon, join at the free tier, and you'll get a link to the Patreon or to the Discord. Oh man. Last but not least, we do have a monster show that is now a free show that used to be on our Patreon. It's called the Monster Zone, where myself, Dan and Angela, and our new co-host, Mikey, talk about monster movies. We spin a wheel. We talk about those movies. This month, you're getting an Out of the Patreon Vault episode, which is the beginning of the end. And then you're getting our brand new recorded episode for March, which will be Attack of the Giant Leeches from 1959. So you get a couple doozies from the 50s. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And having Mikey on the show has been a blast. I know we got a logo coming out soon. Hopefully by the time the first Monster Zone episode of this month comes out, you'll get that new logo, and it's looking pretty fucking cool. So a lot of exciting things happening over here. Thank you so much for the support. The last thing I want to do is thank our wonderful patrons. We have Billy Joseph Jr., Andrew Schoening, Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast, Corey Morissette, Daniel Collins, the Flicks and Friends Podcast, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming, Anna Presley, Doom Generation, Eric Stein, Jason, Robert Stewart, Rudy5453, and the Baron's Hideout Podcast. Thank you so much for supporting us over on Patreon, and thank you to everybody else for supporting us, period. Make sure you like and comment and all that stuff on the YouTube. Share the show out to all your friends and family. I would love to see some new people watching or listening to the show. It really makes me feel good. And again, I want to thank Joey for being here once again. He's all reliable. When you need someone to hop on, you just give him a call and he's gonna be here. And we always appreciate that very much. We're probably gonna end up making a Joey C playlist on YouTube. So if you want to see all of the episodes that we've just done with Joey, it's gonna be on YouTube. There's gonna be a Joey C playlist. So
that
it'll be
awesome.
every episode that we've done with Joey, which is like 5 or 6 now. It's been a lot. He's been here quite a bit, people.
That's fucking sick.
And lastly, though, as I've said 6 times, I've already said lastly like 5 or 6 times. 200 episode 200 is coming up. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. All right, everybody, I'm done. Until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan Angelo of DNA Gaming, and that is the official Joey C. This has been another episode of the Dissect That Film Podcast. We'll see y'all again next time. What are we gonna wish for? I wish for this to end.